The startup investment landscape is changing, and world-class companies are being built outside of Silicon Valley. We find them, talk with them, and discuss the upside of investing in them. Welcome to Upside.
Woo!
Eric, you've done it again.
We're on to number 4, Jay. Number 3, number 4. I don't know. I'm losing track already, and we're just getting started.
The Upside Podcast Network is growing. We introduced our second show about a month ago, Lay of the Land, which if you have not already subscribed, you should subscribe in your favorite podcast player right now. That's a show in Cleveland, but today we're announcing When Pigs Fly, our new flagship show in Cincinnati, Ohio.
When Pigs Fly is an homage to Cincinnati's history as Porkopolis, if you're not familiar, and there is a kind of insignia of a flying pig that, there's some in my kitchen downstairs. They're all over the city. It's a very local vibe that I didn't know about coming from Cleveland.
Tell us about our co-hosts on When Pigs Fly.
Our first co-host is Patrick Bailey. He was a super listener to Upside. I think he reached out somewhere around episode 10, maybe, in our first year, and he's been an avid listener ever since. And Allie is the first person in our media company to actually have media experience. Together, they make a really unique combination on the microphones, and Patrick has this startup gung-ho-ness where Allie is really interested in local business and scaling and telling the story of the city. So together, this is going to be a different podcast than we've heard with Upside or Lay of the Land.
Different how?
It's going to focus on the history of Cincinnati and tying that to present-day growth opportunities. It's also going to not focus just on startups. So on Upside, we talk mostly to venture-backed style startups and things that are happening on the fringes of entrepreneurship. On Lay of the Land, they're kind of doing the same. In Cincinnati, because of where the host's interests lie, it's going to be a little broader than that.
When Pigs Fly introduced their trailer on their feed yesterday. The show will release every Tuesday. We have a link to the show in the show notes. We're about to play the full trailer for you here on this feed, but we encourage you to subscribe, especially if you're in the Cincinnati area. Give it a look. Eric, we've produced something close to 200 episodes between the two of us over the last few years, and next week's episode of When Pigs Fly with Greg Hand got a more glowing compliment of any episode we've ever created from our audio engineer, Nathan.
Who's been with us for all 200 episodes.
So call it beginner's luck or call it someone who actually has media experience. This is going to be a good one, and you should definitely tune in. But let's give you the trailer for When Pigs Fly right here.
Well, welcome to When Pigs Fly. It's a podcast that uncovers Cincinnati's rich business history from the 1800s to today. We're going to take you on a journey where we talk to companies to learn the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and what it takes to grow a successful business here in the Cincinnati tri-state. I'm going to be one of your co-hosts, Allie Martin.
And I'm your other co-host, Patrick Bailey.
And we are very excited for you to follow us on this journey because, as we said, we're going to be taking you on this journey to talk to businesses, learn more about entrepreneurship, but also uncover Cincinnati's rich history in general, which then leads to why we named this podcast When Pigs Fly.
Yes, and it's actually lots of reasons, but the first and obvious reason is, Porkopolis. We were the pork capital. Like, there were pigs running in the street everywhere.
Pigs were literally running around.
When they put them on the barge and they would jump, it would look like they were flying, hence the term flying pig.
There was a street designated for pigs.
Which is kind of disgusting that, just imagining like 1,000 pigs and just, nope. I'm glad we moved on.
That's that historical element, right? Yes. Especially for the city of Cincinnati.
Exactly. But then that leads us to, this kind of metaphorical aspect of a flying pig. Yeah. Innovation and defying the odds. Yeah. And
I'll believe it when I see it.
Right? And the phrase being, I'll believe it when I see a pig fly, right? Or I'll believe it when pigs fly. And these business owners, these founders, these mom and pop shops, these startups are defying odds to make, Cincinnati a better place and, do business in this city. And they truly are flying pigs, truly unique in their own way and defying the odds.
And I think these small businesses, like you said, small, medium, or large, they really encompass who we are as a city. I mean, of course, we have the P&Gs and the GEs of the world and plenty of large companies that really make the city great. And then we also have incredible nonprofits like Artswork and Artswave. And then these small bars and restaurants that go back, and have these crazy prohibition roots, but they really bring a different culture and life. And also, not even to mention sports, right? So you have like the Cincinnati Reds, and we really touch in the city, which is so unique. And I think this is why we're also really passionate about this. We touch so many different industries, from the arts to sports to, soaps and products and you name it. And that starts back to the 1800s. We really were a city that sold a little bit of everything when we first started. And that hasn't really stopped yet. So it's going to be fun to highlight that and hopefully continue to engage this conversation with everyone in our community and in the tri-state too. This isn't just Cincinnati. This is also Indiana, and this is Northern Kentucky, and get everybody's perspective and opinions and open up that conversation about business and how we can make this city even better and even greater.
Preach, because that's exactly why we started it.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. But, that's why we started this, is like you said, start that conversation. And how can other small business owners or large corporations or media corporations, whoever it is out there, listeners, can learn something from this and then maybe go take action in their own little neighborhoods of the community in the tri-state area, right? And maybe you and I can affect change for the better by starting the conversation and then helping people enact it. And we, like you said, we really want to build that community here. And that's why we did this.
Yeah, and listening to the stories, right, within our community, because I'm a firm believer, this is just my personal opinion, that everybody has their own unique story to tell. And especially as a business owner, it's not always, sunshine and rainbows, even though, again, when pigs fly. So you're rolling in the mud a lot of the times too. And sometimes that needs to be highlighted. And hopefully, whatever that sparks in who's ever listening, maybe that's just like, I can do this too, motivation to take action. Or if someone's looking to maybe even start their own business or look into a specific industry or company culture, that'll give that spark, right?
Exactly. And we know it's a hard journey to be, help businesses, whether large, medium, or small. It's hard to, go on the grind every day. And especially, we're just coming off a pandemic. There's even more challenges.
Yeah, that's a thing too.
We almost forgot about that.
Our pig no longer has a launch pad.
Right? And so they're gonna have to figure out, how do we get off the ground with the world changing. And I think the businesses in Cincinnati have, and the people that surround these businesses that are and support these businesses, whether it is, in the culture and art side of things to, the housing and the sports, you name it, or, whether the Chamber of Commerce, you name it. There's different ways that people have came up to help others, and it's very inspiring, and I'm excited to explore that.
Me too. And, on a final thought and a final note, hopefully this allows both of us to number one, learn along the way, but also allows us and everyone else to see how the dots start to connect and how we actually are all still working together in some shape or fashion. And we're not probably going to see that right away, but I'm sure we will as time goes on. So we're really excited. We hope that you join us on this journey of When Pigs Fly. And you know what? You know what time it is, Patrick?
What time is that?
It's time to prost to future innovation.
Cheers.
We also want to give a shout out to Claire and Christian of Moonbow. They're the two artists of our intro song, which is so catchy and gets stuck in our heads all the time. So bop over to Spotify or wherever you find your music and give them a listen. And Like the Night by Moonbow is courtesy of Silver Lake Sync.